child-led therapy that's naturalistic and evidence-based and is going to help your student find a way to communicate with the world? Yes, please. Yes, please. Today, in this mini episode of the Autism Outreach Podcast, I am sharing with you about our new signature course, Naturalistic Interventions for Autistic Learners. Next steps. We are getting into it in this 5-hour course. I get questions time and time again. How do we provide intervention that is fun and functional and evidence-based and is going to help your student start communicating? Well, this is it. This is it. Buckle up. I can't wait for you to learn more about this course, and I hope that I see you in the ABA Speech Connection or our course. See you soon.
You're listening to Autism Outreach Podcast, a podcast full of ready-to-use strategies to help those with autism strengthen their communication skills. Here's your host, Rose Griffin of ABA Speech, a speech therapist and board-certified behavior analyst who shares tips you can use in your next therapy session.
How do we support students with naturalistic interventions? Gone are the days where we are going to provide instruction solely at the table, especially for early learners, early intervention, younger students. I do a lot of consulting in my role here at ABA Speech, and I'm also continuing to be a therapy provider 2 days a week. I feel busy. Can you tell? I feel busy, but I love being able to do the work that I'm talking about and that I'm so very passionate about. I have a new course called Naturalistic Interventions for Autistic Learners, and I wanted to take just a little bit of time today on the podcast to share about this course that I'm so passionate about. This is a course that has been kind of a long time in the making. I have really shifted my intervention to more naturalistic, natural environment teaching. And I feel like that is a trend in the field. I feel like a lot of speech language pathologists try to come from this place that's more play-based, but sometimes it's hard for us to feel like if we're providing child-led instruction, am I just following the child around? How do I get started? If I take a child's toy, they get really upset if I'm trying to do turn taking. There's so many things that are up in the air and so many things that are nuanced that are important that we really don't get a lot of direct instruction and training on as speech therapists in our training programs, and especially as board certified behavior analysts in our training programs. I get a lot of questions, you get a lot of questions from people on LinkedIn, my email, the podcast, Instagram DMs about, hey, Rose, I have this student. They're getting speech therapy. It's been hard to collaborate with the speech therapist. Hey, Rose, I have this student. There are no speech language pathologists in our area. There's wait lists, and the student needs an AAC device. Hey, Rose, I'm working with this student. He's not yet speaking. I'm trying to reach him, but the usual things that I do are not really working. The other poll that I just did on LinkedIn was, what would you like to receive more training in? And there were 3 options. And play is what won. Okay. Play is the winner. So our course is, I want to tell you a little bit about it because I think that you'll be really excited about this course. I haven't come out with a 5-hour course in a couple years. We have our Start Communicating Today course, which is 5 hours. Preschool students, we have our 5-hour Advanced Language Learner course, which is students who are using 1 and 2 words to communicate. And this course is called Naturalistic Interventions for Autistic Learners, Next Steps. It is really with speech therapists in mind, BCBAs in mind, RBTs in mind, parapros in mind. Okay. It could be if you're like very into learning and you're a parent, this also might be a really nice course for you as well, but it is a little technical. So this 5-hour course is broken into bite-sized modules because I know that I cannot sit too long and learn all in a row. So we have 7 different modules that we're going to be discussing. And we start by just talking about what are naturalistic interventions? Like, what does that even mean? I talk a lot about what is naturalistic developmental behavioral interventions and what can we take from that line of research and build a bridge into what we are actually doing in our therapy sessions. We know that there is a huge, I don't want to call it a bridge, but it's hard for us to get research into action. And so I'd really try to do that at ABA Speech because with my schedule, I do have time to read research, to try to stay up on what is happening in the research. And NDBI is something that we talk about a lot here at ABA Speech. If you've taken Joint Attention, our 1 hour course, you're going to love this course because this just goes way more in depth on how do we help kids increase their overall engagement and start communicating on their own. So module 1, we talk about naturalistic intervention. Module 2, we talk about meaningful goal development. Meaningful goal development. What does that actually mean? Should we work on yes, no questions first or requesting? Okay, we would never work on yes, no questions for a student who's not yet speaking. But I hear those things often, okay? I'm not trying to call anybody out. If that is you, when we know better, we do better. And so I want you to feel really comfortable with how to plan therapy for students who are younger. In module 3, we talk all about communication skills. So what does communication skill look like? How are we embedding our instruction for communication skills within our therapy sessions? You're going to get a lot of great information on sensory social routines. Sensory social routines are where it's at. Funny stuff. One sensory social routine is very simplistic. Let's say I have a little block and I put it on my head and I pretend to sneeze. And my student thinks that's hilarious. They pick that block up, they hand it back to me, they make eye contact with me, eye gaze, they look at the block, they look at me. These are topographies of joint attention. And we know when we build that foundation for joint attention that we are going to help our students communicate on their own. And that is what we want for all of our students. So we talk about sensory social routines, environmental arrangements. We talk about balanced turns. We really get into it. Module 4, social skills and play. We have an amazing chart that are play milestones that my designer, Jamie, made that looks really, really nice. And I think you're going to love it. If you like to save it to your desktop, I'm the kind of person who likes to print things out. I think you're really going to like that play milestones. In the goal development module, you're going to have a printable that is our updated Autism IEP goal bank, which if you haven't updated that, now we have almost 250 goals on there to be inspirational for you when you sit down at that computer to write those goals. Module 3, we're talking about communication skills. Module 4, we're talking about social skills and play. When do different types of play develop, right? It may not be linear, but we are talking about the different types of play and how you can embed instruction in your therapy sessions on play. We also talk about social skills. What does that mean for students at this age? And how can we provide meaningful, functional, evidence-based, child-led therapy? Why I feel so passionate about sticking to science and research is that I feel like there's a lot of pseudoscience that is flying around. And that's just always how our field is. Our field is. And I feel like if we are working with younger learners and we are choosing to engage in therapy that is not evidence-based, and our students are not making progress, that we are going to be really upset about that in a couple of years when our students are not able to communicate on their own, when they are not as independent as they could be. And that's really what I want for all learners. That really is my mission here at ABA Speech, and really my life's work is to help the students who are traditionally hard to help and to help learners find a way to communicate on their own. This is so important. This is so important. Okay. Social skills and play, really fun module. Module 5, we're going to get into talking about behavior that is a barrier to learning and also self-regulation. So what are some self-regulation skills that our students may struggle with? Talking about that, and how can we work on those within our sessions, right? You may think, like, as a speech therapist, maybe that's not in your domain, but I know there are a lot of speech therapists who have attended my behavior courses before who really appreciate having this open dialogue about younger learners who are not running, jumping, skipping to therapy, or they're just really having trouble engaging in sessions. In Module 6, we're going to talk about supporting parents, all new information here about supporting parents, about self-regulation. And then Module 7, we wrap it up. I think that you're going to love this because it's great information that is very, very applicable to speech therapists, BCBAs, RBTs, parapros, and parents that really kind of want to dig in. There's a lot of great information here I share about current research, but I also share about games you can use in therapy to work on different types of play, which is going to be important. I want my courses to be something that you can view as a clinic, that you can view as an individual, and then you can say, that is what I'm going to do with so-and-so. I'm going to try this tomorrow. And then you send me a DM on Instagram about it. That really lights me up when you reach out. Okay. Because I love to hear from you. Sometimes I'm in my office and I'm like, is this helping? Am I helping anyone? So let me know. At the end of this course, you will earn your CEUs if you complete the course. This is a self-paced course. You can take it at your leisure. Okay. It's 5 hours broken into these manageable chunks. You're going to get printables within the modules. I also have different podcast episodes that are completely supplemental to show you like, hey, we're talking about this in a different way, right? And the other thing that I forgot to mention is we have transcripts. There are transcripts of the course. I took a course by my business mentor, Pat Flynn, about podcasting. Funny enough, this is very full circle here about podcasting. It was called Power Up Podcasting. And he had transcripts and I liked it because I printed it out. I was highlighting and I really put it in a binder. Come on, you know I put that stuff in a binder. I really, really utilized those resources when I was getting started with my podcast. That was really, really instrumental to me. So if you are on a path of really accepting and wanting to embed naturalistic interventions for your learners, I hope you are so fired up about this course as I am. It is hot off the press. So there is going to be a link in the show notes where you can get the course. You can get the course when it launches the first week. Anybody can get the course that first week. After that time, the only people that will have access to the course are people in the ABA Speech Connection. So if you are already in the ABA Speech Connection, you don't have to do a thing. This is already going to be in our CEU library. If you're new here, the ABA Speech Connection is my CEU membership where we offer ASHA and ACE CEUs. We do a new live course every single month, which is super fun. I love to connect with all of you live. If you miss the live course, it goes into our ever-growing CEU library of courses that are self-paced. You just take it your leisure, okay? We also, during the school year, do more intermediate learning where we do journal articles. Sometimes I'm the speaker. Other times there are different people. We read the article ahead of time. We get together and we powwow about it. This month we're doing joint attention. The following month we're talking about token economies. So we always try to mix it up and we learn together. We get a lot of CEUs there, which is really nice. And we cover more intermediate topics. Also, while the membership is fairly manageable, I do a onboarding call with any new member that wants to meet with me, which I really love because once I meet you, like Linda's a great example. Linda is somebody who just found out about the ABA Speech Connection. She used to do medical speech pathology. Now she does teletherapy, working with a lot of autistic learners. Stumbled upon my membership, joined it. She did an onboarding call. Every time she logs on, I'm like, oh, hey, it's Linda. Pretty sure she lives in Florida. And she was recently on my podcast. So it's just really nice. It's a community of support. It's not like a Facebook group where you put a message in and you get, lots of maybe mean comments or comments that are not actually helpful. So we have a whole community where you can ask questions. Every month we share a new therapy material. I'm trying to really make it helpful for treating clinicians. We have groups that are here too. So we offer group pricing. If you have a CEU stipend, you can also use it for that. And we offer right now, our founding price is still good through 2024. So it's $25 monthly or $247 for the year. And that will go up in 2025. I pour a lot of my heart into this membership. People seem to really love and enjoy it. And we want to grow that community of support. The work that you are doing is important. It is important, and you deserve this support. So make sure you check out the show notes for this new course. I cannot wait to have you tell me if you enjoyed it. See you on the next episode. Thanks for listening to Autism Outreach. If you enjoyed the show today, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode full of actionable strategies you can use in your therapy room. Write a review too. That would mean so much to me. I always love hearing from you. Have a specific topic that you want included on a future show? Reach out over on Instagram, ABA Speech by Rose, or visit me at www.abaspeech.org.